Most people think getting rich is about finding the perfect investment, the hot stock, the miracle crypto, the real estate deal of a lifetime. But here's the truth the wealthy already know. The real driver of massive wealth isn't flashy at all. It's compounding, the silent multiplier that works quietly in the background, day after day, year after year. Think about it like planting a tree. In the first few years, it barely seems to grow. But underground, the roots are spreading, the foundation is strengthening. Then one day, growth explodes. That's exactly how compounding works. Slow at first, then suddenly unstoppable. The wealthy respect this process. They don't just focus on how much they can earn right now, they care about how long their money can work without interruption. Because here's the magic. A single dollar, left to grow for decades, can become 10, 20, even 100 times its original value without you lifting a finger. Take this. If you invest $500 a month at a modest 8% annual return, you'll have $745,000 after 30 years. But if you start just 10 years later, you'll end with less than half, even if you put in the same amount every month. The only difference? Time in the market. And if you're serious about learning how to apply these compounding secrets in your own life, make sure you hit that subscribe button now. Because in this video, I'm going to reveal the exact strategies the wealthy never teach you. The rich don't treat compounding like a short-term tactic. They treat it like oxygen for their financial life, something that must never be cut off. And that's why, before you even think about chasing the next big opportunity, you need to understand this simple rule. The earlier you start, the louder your silent multiplier will work for you. Let's dive into the first compounding secret schools never taught you, the hidden gap between knowing and doing. Most people think they understand compounding, at least in theory. They've seen the charts, they've heard the start early advice, and they nod along when someone says, "Let your money work for you." But here's the reality. Knowledge without action is useless. It's like knowing how to plant a tree but never putting a seed in the ground. The wealthy don't just know about compounding, they build systems to make it automatic. Because here's the thing. If you don't measure your progress, you won't notice the opportunities slipping by. Compounding works best when you can actually see its effects over time, when the numbers become real, not abstract. The wealthy make their money visible, measurable, and trackable. That's how they stay consistent for decades, not just months. But even with the right system in place, there's one reason most people still fail to unlock compounding's full potential, and it has nothing to do with bad investments. It's a mindset trap that quietly delays wealth for years without you even noticing. Most people think compounding is all about math, bigger contributions, better returns, longer time frames. But the truth is, the biggest factor holding people back isn't financial, it's psychological. The wealthy understand that before money can multiply, habits and beliefs have to change. And this is where the average investor stumbles. Let's look at Sophie. She had the income, she had the savings, but she was stuck in one day thinking, one day I'll invest more. One day I'll start my business. One day I'll get serious about tracking my wealth. Years passed, and while she was waiting for the perfect moment, her money was sitting idle, losing the most valuable ingredient in compounding: time. This mindset trap comes from believing that small steps aren't worth it. But the wealthy know that starting small isn't just fine, it's essential. They view every contribution as a brick in a wall that will stand for decades. A mental shift? Stop asking, "Is this enough to make a difference?" and start asking, "How fast can I get the clock on my side?" The real danger isn't losing money, it's losing momentum. That's why the wealthy put systems in place to keep their progress automatic. They don't rely on motivation, they rely on structure. And the earlier you set that structure, the easier it is to stay in the game long enough for compounding to work its magic. But a mindset shift alone isn't enough. You need a strategy that ensures every dollar you earn gets put to work, automatically, so compounding becomes effortless. And that's exactly what we'll get into next. Once you've shifted your mindset, the next step is to remove friction. Because here's the truth. If you have to manually decide every month how much to invest, save, or allocate, you'll eventually miss a month. And each missed month is compounding you never get back. The wealthy avoid this by creating an automatic money engine. They set up systems so their income flows directly into investments, savings, and asset purchases without requiring constant willpower. Take Daniel, for example. Every paycheck he gets is automatically split. Part goes to his investment account, part to his emergency fund, and the rest to living expenses. No mental debate, no temptation to spend first and save later. Over time, this structure does more for his net worth than chasing the perfect stock or timing the market. The wealthy understand that what gets measured gets managed, and what gets automated gets multiplied. Put your money on autopilot and you'll be shocked at how quickly compounding begins to accelerate without any extra effort from you. But automation is just one part of the equation. To truly scale your wealth, you need to understand the hidden forces that either accelerate compounding or quietly destroy it. And speaking of scaling wealth, that's what I'm testing right now. I'm building a Google Sheets command center, something simple but powerful. It's designed to help you track your net worth, investments, income, cash flow, spending habits, and even your compounding progress, all in one place. It's not just a tracker. It's a strategy hub, the kind of thing I wish someone had handed me 10 years ago. If enough people want it, I'll launch it soon, and there'll be an exclusive launch discount for early supporters. You can join the early access waitlist with the link below. The tool will cost less than one bad financial decision, and that's the point. All right, moving forward, let's talk about the silent killer of compounding. Most people think compounding fails because they chose the wrong investment. But in reality, the biggest threat isn't a bad pick, it's erosion. Little leaks in your financial system that quietly eat away at your returns year after year. This erosion can come from high fees, poor tax planning, inflation, or even lifestyle creep, where your spending rises every time your income does. Imagine planting a tree in nutrient-rich soil, watering it and protecting it from storms, but letting termites chew away at the trunk from the inside. That's what hidden erosion does to your wealth. You may think your portfolio is growing, but the gains are being siphoned away before they can truly multiply. The wealthy are ruthless about plugging these leaks. They negotiate lower fees, optimize for tax efficiency, and avoid letting lifestyle upgrades consume their compounding engine. It's not that they never spend, it's that they protect the capital that's generating future growth before they indulge. And here's the part most people miss. Erosion isn't always obvious. It often feels harmless in the moment, a slightly higher expense ratio, an extra purchase just this month. But over decades, those small hits compound just like growth does, only in reverse. Protect your foundation first, and compounding will take care of the rest. Ignore it, and even the most impressive investment strategy will struggle to deliver real freedom. Now, once you've sealed the leaks, the next step is to understand how to unlock exponential growth by combining income strategy with asset scaling, a move the wealthy master early on. Once the leaks are sealed, the wealthy focus on something most investors never think about: scaling. Compounding works on percentages, but percentages work on amounts. That means if you can grow the amount being compounded while keeping your system efficient, your growth curve steepens dramatically. Think of it like pushing a snowball down a hill. The bigger it is when it starts rolling, the faster it grows and the more unstoppable it becomes. The wealthy achieve this by stacking income sources, reinvesting profits, and systematically increasing their contributions. But they don't do it blindly. They track, measure, and adjust in real time. Most people lose compounding power because they're flying blind. The wealthy, on the other hand, spot underperforming assets early, track their investment habits, and set clear 5-year wealth goals that keep them compounding on purpose, not by accident. Wealthy individuals don't just hope their compounding works. They manage it like a business. Every new dollar is given a job, every investment is monitored, and every leak is addressed before it becomes a problem. Scaling is where good strategies become great ones, and where the gap between average investors and the wealthy widens beyond recognition. But scaling isn't the final step. To protect exponential growth, you need to master the single most overlooked skill in investing: controlling your own behavior. That's where compounding either thrives or dies quietly. If there's one trait that separates those who get a little from those who get a lot, it's patience. Compounding doesn't reward the smartest person in the room. It rewards the one who can sit still the longest. The wealthy know that impatience is the tax you pay for not trusting the process. Every time you pull money out too soon, chase a shiny new investment, or let fear dictate your decisions, you're interrupting the very growth you worked so hard to set in motion. Think about a fruit tree. You can water it, give it sunlight, and protect it from storms. But if you start yanking it out of the ground every season to see how the roots are doing, it will never grow. Your money works the same way. Take Angela's story. She started investing $500 a month into a simple index fund at age 28. For the first 10 years, her account barely moved compared to her expectations. Friends told her she should try something more exciting, but she stayed put. By her late 40s, the growth curve turned vertical. What once felt slow suddenly became unstoppable because compounding had reached critical mass. Patience isn't passive. It's active discipline, the choice to keep going when results are invisible. The wealthy master this because they see compounding as a long-term partnership, not a quick transaction. The longer you can resist the urge to do something out of boredom or fear, the more powerful your results will be. And yet, patience alone won't get you there. To truly win at compounding, you need to know the single mistake that erases decades of growth in seconds. If compounding has a superpower, it also has a kryptonite, and it's not market crashes or bad luck. The biggest compounding killer is interruption. Every time you pull money out too soon, drain your investment account for something urgent, or stop contributions during a downturn, you reset the clock. It's like chopping down a tree that took decades to grow because you wanted firewood for one cold night. The wealthy protect their compounding at all costs. They have rules: never sell core assets to fund liabilities, never stop contributions because of fear, and never touch long-term capital for short-term thrills. These guardrails exist because they understand the math, and the math is ruthless. A single interruption can cost you years of progress you can never buy back. There's a reason Warren Buffett says, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." It's not just about being patient, it's about protecting your patience from sabotage. So here's your takeaway. Build a system that makes interruptions nearly impossible. Have an emergency fund for the unexpected. Automate contributions so they happen whether you feel like it or not. And most importantly, treat your compounding engine like the most valuable asset you own, because it is. If you've been following this series, you now know more about compounding than most investors will learn in a lifetime. But knowledge means nothing without action. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research and speak with a qualified financial professional before making investment decisions. If you found this breakdown helpful, I highly recommend watching my next video. It connects directly to what we've covered today and will help you take the next step toward financial freedom. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the tools, strategies, and stories that can change the way you think about money. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.